Good morning. Today is um, September the 9th, 2023. I'm not 100%. And we are having our first coaching call today with Courtney, right?
Mhm.
All right. So to make sure I said it right. All right. And we are having our first coaching call, and we're going to be going through a lot of things today. We're going to be talking about what's a system called the audio business card system. This is going to be the foundation of your business. Okay. So this is a very important part of your business. This is how you're going to be able to learn how to generate leads and convert those leads into prospects. All right, so let's go through the techniques. The first thing I want to tell you is we're going to do what's called an audio business card system. It consists of three parts.
Okay.
The first part is the audio business card. That's part one. It's called an audio business card. An audio business card is designed to answer the question, what do you do? That's a big part. A lot of people don't know how to answer that question. And so you got to answer that question properly to lead people where you want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, right, you ever heard of an elevator pitch or a
Yeah.
30-second commercial? Write down the word elevator pitch next to the word audio business card. Got that?
Mhm.
Okay. They cross it off and say, I'm never ever saying another elevator pitch again. I don't teach that. That's an old school technique that really don't work very well. And that's why a lot of people are failing because of it. So
Okay.
I don't teach audio business, I mean elevator pitches at all. I teach a system called an audio business card system.
Okay.
Okay. You'll see the difference in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a formula to the audio business card. I'm not going to give you a script. I'm going to give you a formula. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the formula. I plus action word plus target market plus results plus so they can plus benefit. I action word target market results so they can benefit.
Target market plus results, right?
Right. So they can benefit. Okay. Now, what is the action word? Let me give you some different action words. I teach. I coach. I work with. I help. I show. I provide. I mentor. It's what you do. Okay. So
Okay.
it's what you do. You say, I help, and then whoever the target market is. And the target market needs to be the person you're speaking to. Now, if you're talking to a realtor, let's just use a realtor for example, and they say that they're a realtor or whatever, and they ask you what you do, you don't just come out and say, I work with realtors, because that'd be too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You'd say, I work with business professionals, people in the insurance industry, people in the real estate market, like mortgage agents and real estate agents, professionals, and even people like in the title space. And I show them how to create graphics. So here's the results so they can benefit. And I show them how to create graphics and do their artwork so they can look the most professional when they're out there showing homes and generate more clients. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At an affordable price. And they're like, wow, yeah, I need graphics for myself. That's awesome. That's one of the things they do. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you target that audience. So I actually work target market results so they can benefit. So your job is to come up with 10 different audio business cards.
Is this homework or right now?
This is your homework.
Homework.
10 different audio business cards. And then you write those out and you practice those. Because on the next call, we're going to be going through them together. And we're going to be making sure you know them, because this is how you're going to be able to go to a networking event or pick up your cell phone or anywhere. And you're going to be able to ask someone, what do you do? And they're going to say, oh, I'm a dentist. Oh, really? That's awesome. How long you been a dentist? I've been a dentist 6 years. That's amazing. That's great. Well, and then you'll say that's something totally different than what I do. They're gonna say, really, what do you do? What I do is I work with people that have brick and mortar businesses, especially in the business profession, like chiropractors. I work with a lot of practice professional doctors, and I even chiropractors in that space, and I work with them and I show them how to upgrade their graphic design and their marketing pieces so that they can attract more clients and get more foot traffic in the door.
Yeah.
That chiropractor is going to say, wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you see how the audio business card system is customized per person.
Yeah.
Or if you're talking to a group, I'll show you how to do that later. But that's called a long form audio business card. I'll teach you that later. But right now, you got to learn the short form.
Okay.
So no matter who I'm talking to, I can always know how to attract them.
Right. I do my favorite word when you said it is show. I was like, that's a really good word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. And you'll find out what words work best for your customers.
Mm-hmm.
You'll learn that as you go.
Yeah.
Some words work better than others. Okay?
Mhm.
Yep. And you'll practice it, and you'll find out which ones are the best for what you're doing. Okay? All right, so that's the audio business card. Any questions about that part?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, I can't ask what for benefit, like benefit is like I wrote down, you said like upgrade their designs so they attract more clients, or so they feel
Well,
professional.
okay. The benefit is, what's the benefit to them?
Okay.
What do they want? You got to remember, what does your customer want? So whoever you're speaking to, you got to understand what they want. What does a
Okay.
dentist want? Want more foot traffic in the door. They want more inbound calls, right? What does a real estate agent want? They want more listings. They want more
Okay.
sales, right?
Okay.
What does a teacher want? They want more flyers for their after school programs.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to say the result that the customer wants.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the first part. That's the audio business card. The second part to the audio business card system are called openers. Openers. These are designed to see if a person is open to speaking to you. Because you know how some people, when they go to networking events and they ask people if they're interested in their services, their product, right? Okay, write down the
Mm-hmm.
word interested next to the word opener. Got that?
Yeah.
Okay, cross that off and say, I'm never ever using the word interested again. Because the word interested is a buying word. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And how do they know if they want to buy from you, if they want to do some business with you, unless they know what you do?
Right.
So if you ask them if they're interested, most likely they're going to say no, because they don't know what you do yet. But
Right.
if you ask them if they're open to learning more, write that down. Open to learning more. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to find out. If they're open to learning more about what you do. You're not
Okay.
asking if they're interested in buying or interested in learning Doing more because interested is a buying word. See, that's why you're asking if they're open to learning more. So they'll say sometimes, I'm open to learning more, but I'm not. I don't know if I'm interested in doing it. That's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. You got to they. How could they make sure a decision to do it unless they know what it is? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are the different openers. There are 6 different openers you're going to learn. Number
Okay.
1 is, are you open to? Are you open to? So it goes like this. Are you open to learning more about, and I use learning more in every sentence, pretty much. Are you open to learning more about how to create studying designs for your business that can attract more clients?
Okay.
Is that what the customer wants? Are you open to learning more how to make your website get more foot traffic in the door? Are you open to learning more how to upgrade your website to the point where it's generating 5 or 10 new clients a month? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's how you do it. Okay. So that's the first one. Are you open to? The second one is, have you ever considered? Have you ever considered? So I'll be like, have you ever considered some ways to be able to generate some additional business through upgrading your website? Have you ever considered upgrading your marketing materials so that you stand out from your competition? Get that down?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever considered? Is the second one. The third one, do you keep your options open?
Okay.
Do you keep your options open? So, like, do you keep your options open to additional ways to be able to increase your sales through your website? Do you keep your options open to learning some new techniques on how your website can generate 5 or 10 new clients a month? See how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
So the third one is, do you keep your options open?
Yeah.
Okay. The fourth one is a little different. The fourth one and fifth one, these are called opener questions. These questions, I'm going to give you the answer to them, but I still want you to
Mm-hmm.
write them out and practice them.
Right.
These are opener questions. These are questions that you ask so that you can ask additional questions in detail. So it's kind of like this. Are you open to, the first one is, if you don't mind. If you don't mind is the opener. So it
Mm-hmm.
goes like this. I was wondering if I can ask you some questions about your finances, if you don't mind. So write that down. I was wondering if I could. I like to use that sentence. I was wondering if I could. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I could. So I would say, I was wondering if I can ask you some questions about your. Now, there's 5 different categories. The first category is business. Second one is company. Third one is family. Fourth one is health. And fifth one is finances. So I was wondering if I could ask you a question about your business, if you don't mind. Or I was wondering if I could ask you a question about your health, if you don't mind. I was wondering if I could ask you a question about your finances, if you don't mind. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about your company, if you don't mind. I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering if I could ask you a question about your um finances, if you don't mind. I think I used that one on you because at the end of the presentation, it was a money situation, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, I wonder if I could ask the question about your finances, if you don't mind. You said
Yeah.
yes, that I started asking you questions about your credit score and what credit
Yeah.
cards you use, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You gave me permission to ask you deep questions
Yeah.
versus me just coming out and asking you deep questions.
Yeah.
Because if I would have just asked you what's your credit score, you would have said none of your business,
Mm-hmm.
right? But because I asked the question up front, then you gave me permission.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the fourth one is, if you don't mind, the second one is like it. The number 5 is, do you mind if I? Do you mind if I? So it's very simple. Do you mind if I ask you questions about your business? If you don't, do you mind if I ask you questions about your business? Do you mind if I ask you the question about your company? Do you mind if I ask you questions about your family? Do you mind if I ask you questions about your health? Do you mind if I ask you questions about your finances? You
Okay.
you understand? Same
Yeah.
questions, just a different way to say it. One of them goes at the beginning, one of them goes at the end of a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a different way to say the same thing.
So I've had people ask me these, not just you. And if someone says no, then they keep it's almost like they'll keep repeating it. They'll keep repeating it. Is that what you're supposed to do?
No,
Or
because usually I don't use these questions just up front.
uh-huh.
Like you got to remember, I used it after I did a strategy session with you.
Right.
We had already built rapport. We had already been talking for an
Okay.
hour. You wanted my services, so me asking you this question wasn't just a generic question.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to come out beat you on the first second and say, "Hey, I was wondering if I could ask a question about your finances." You'll get an automatic no. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay. So that's the second. So your homework is to write 5 openers for each one of those openers.
Okay.
So at the end, you'll have a total of 30 openers. Okay.
Openings.
The reason I give you so many of them, because I want you to practice using different ones, because you're never going to use the same one all the time.
Right. Um, okay. So for the last two, it's not supposed to be, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about your finances. I was wondering, like, that's not what I,
Yes, you write all those 5. I just
oh,
gave you the answer. So
oh,
you
that's
just
what you
write.
meant. Okay.
I gave you the answers already. But I want you
Okay.
to learn. I want you to learn them.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you don't have to invent something on those. The other ones
Okay.
you got to make up on your own.
Okay.
But on those, I gave you the answers already.
Okay.
That was the open book test.
Okay.
Okay,
Retailers. Okay.
perfect. All right. So the next one is the third part of it is the invitation script. Now, by the way, in between the openers and the audio business card, there's a thing called a transition phrase. Transition phrase. The transition phrase is what like when you go and you say, I what I do is I show people how to help them increase their branding so that they stand out from their competition. They say, "Wow, how do you?" They say, "How do you do that?" Or "Tell me more. How does it work?" Or "Do you have a flyer? Do you have any information?" No matter what they say, it's always the
Mm-hmm.
same answer.
Okay.
The answer is, it's pretty amazing. I have a system in place. I have a system in place is the answer.
Okay.
And then you roll to an opener. So I have a system in place. Why are you open to learning some ways to be able to increase your branding?
And you have to use the word system. Can you use method or
You can do whatever you want. I'm telling you what works.
okay.
I'm
That's what I
giving
want
you,
to know.
yeah, I'm giving you the exact words that work.
Okay.
Remember, words matter.
Okay.
So just so you know, whenever I give you a word,
Hmm.
that word has been thought through.
Okay.
I didn't just come up with some random word. I'm giving you the ones that work. Now,
Okay.
I'm not saying other ones won't work, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm giving you the ones that do work.
Okay.
If you change the word, you're going to change the meaning. You understand? So that's why I'm giving you the exact words to say. And that's exactly what people do. They go and change the system. They say, oh, I want to use other words. And they use other words, and then they wonder why it's not working.
Mm,
Well, you change the words. So I don't know how to help you on that.
right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay. So here's the actual invitation script. There's three parts to it.
Okay.
Since you are open to it, if you're open to it,
Okay.
or are you open to it? Are you open to it? So it goes like this. Let's say you meet someone cold and they don't give you any positive information. You can say, are you open to a free one? So here's the sentence. If are you open to a free 1 hour strategy session where I can give you some very specific tips on?
Ooh, wait. Um, okay.
So there's three parts. Are you open to a free 1 hour strategy session where I'm going to give you some very specific tips on?
Okay.
So it's three parts. Are you open to a way? Are you open to a free 1 hour strategy session where I can give you some very specific tips on how to improve your branding so that you can attract more clients? Are you open to? You can say, are you open to a free 1 hour strategy session where I can give you some very specific tips on how to make your website generate 5 to 10 more clients a week? So,
Okay.
are you open to is one. The second one is if you're open to it. So let's say you do an audio business card, you do an opener, and you talk to someone and they say, wow, that sounds interesting. You say, yeah, it is interesting. And if you're open to it, I can give you a free 1 hour strategy session where I can give you a free some very specific tips on.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You can say that. Or you can say, since you're open to it. So let's say you're talking to the person and they are very interested. You can tell, wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah. I definitely want to do something like that. You can say, good, since you're open to it, I can give you a free 1 hour strategy session where I can give you some very specific tips on. You see how you use those three parts at the beginning?
Yeah, and it's based on kind of how they responded to
Right.
your question.
Yep. Based on how they handle it. See, but this is giving you a whole new way to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay. Any questions on that?
I don't.
Okay. So here's your goal. Your goal is to write an audio business card, an opener with a transition phrase, and then roll to the inviting script. Now, let me just kind of finish off the whole thing so you can have it on recording. So let's say I was talking to someone and someone said, and I asked them, what do you do? And they said, what I do is I work as a chiropractor. I run a chiropractic office over here in Tustin, and I really help people, be able to get themselves back into good health through chiropractic, making sure their backs are adjusted and their spines are adjusted. Well, that's great. That's awesome. I say, yeah, that's totally different than what I do. Write that sentence down. That's totally different than what I do.
Yes.
If you say that sentence, if you add what I do in a sentence or my business in a sentence, they'll always ask you, what do you do? Or what is your business? So like you have some people, they just talk about themselves, they'll talk about their own business.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of interject, wow, that's totally different than what I do. And they'll say, so what do you do? You get it?
Yeah.
And then you go, what I do is I work with business owners. I'm in different spaces that have, brick and mortar companies like nurses. I work with healthcare professionals and chiropractors, and I show them how to increase their website traffic, so they can get more foot traffic in the door, more inbound calls, and so they can generate more income.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, how do you do that? I said, it's pretty amazing how I do it. I have an actual system in place. Why, have you
Mm-hmm.
ever considered increasing your website traffic so you can get more foot traffic in your door? Yeah, I'd love to be able to do something like that. Okay, well, great. Well, since you're open to it, I can give you a free 1 hour strategy session and give you some very specific tips on the ways to be able to increase your traffic, increase your branding, and get lots and lots more sales because your customers are seeing you in a different light. Yeah, I'd love to
Yeah.
be able to meet with you on that. Okay, great. You got your calendar handy? Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. Okay, what's your schedule look like tomorrow? In the morning time. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm available. So what we could do is we could hop on Zoom for about an hour, and I'll give you that free strategy session. And give you those very specific tips. So say around 10 o'clock, would that work? Yeah, 10 works. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you my Zoom link right now. What's the best email to send it to you? Okay, great. I'm gonna put it in my Google Calendar right now. I'm gonna send it to you. It should pop up in your calendar. Do you use Google Calendar? You do? Okay, good. I'm gonna put it in there. It should pop up right in your calendar right now. Did you get
Mm-hmm.
it? Did you get it? You got it? Okay, great. All right, so tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I will see you then, and I'll definitely give you some tips there. You get it?
Yeah. Um,
So you just saw the whole system come together.
no, I like it. And um, my question. So if I know the whole purpose of this is to give me more money, but at the moment I have the free Zoom. So until I can get a way to use an hour, can I say
Okay,
40 minutes? Because I only have 40 minutes.
okay, you can do that if you want, or you can find $15.
I I don't even have 50 bucks, but
Okay,
uh,
so the answer is yes, you can.
okay.
The answer is yes, you can, but you got to remember, and you're not selling a $3,000 product either. So initially, if you have to adjust it, to do that.
Okay.
Or
That's
because
what
remember, you remember you only need 1 month to do this.
right. Yeah.
So if you find $15 and you pay for the 1 month, and you get 10 strategy sessions for an hour, you're gonna make some sales. It's gonna be a moot point.
Yeah.
So I do understand. So right now, use the free Zoom and say 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. Sometimes you got to be flexible. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's I like that in it.
Hmm.
So up until now, it's 10 different audio business cards, 30 different openers, and then put it all together. Do I
Uh-huh.
need to do more than one or just do one?
No, you can just do one.
Just one.
The whole point is learning how to be flexible and using different audio business cards and openers and writing scripts.
Okay.
So you can practice as much as you want, but
Okay.
you're gonna deliver one to me.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you said throw. Okay.
All right, so so now there's two parts to this I want to tell you really quick that is important. So here's two mindsets as you're writing these up. Number one, people don't care what you want to say. People only care about what they want to hear. Let me explain what I mean by that. Most times you hear people on these networking events, yeah, I'm a licensed, registered this person, and I got this background, and I've worked at this company, and I had friends that did this, and our company's in 40 different planets, and they dug up the ingredients in a coal mine in Africa, and people don't care about none of that. That's the stuff you want to say. Oh, we were on 13 planets, and we've actually helped 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 even aliens be healthy with our nutrition. And it's like it's so stupid. Like people are talking about stuff that don't matter to the customer. You understand what I'm saying? People don't care what you want to say. People don't care, how long of what degree you got in marketing. They don't care. I mean, they'll act like they do, but they really
Mm-hmm.
don't. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
People don't care what you want to say. Here's what they want to say. You know, all they want to hear is what's beneficial for them.
Mm-hmm.
Really, all they care about. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to learn to start talking about what they want. What does your target audience want? You might want to write out, what does my target audience want? So you can even Google, why do people hire a graphic designer? Why do people hire a web designer? And Google's going to give you all the answers, or ChatGPT might give you all the answers. And they're going to tell you all the reasons why they hire one, right? But guess what? That's what people want. They're going to say they want more sales. They want to increase their brand. They want to increase their identity. They want to be able to look better. They want to be able to get more foot traffic. Whatever your customers want. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you
Uh,
talk about.
I it did okay. Well, I don't want to keep going.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I had a question, but I don't know if it's relevant to like
No,
the
go ahead. Ask the question.
okay. Um, one of the things I've been struggling with, even though I do design and everything, um, is if design actually does increase sales or
No,
does that?
design doesn't increase sales. The words that are on the design do.
Okay.
Remember, you're in the word business.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a pretty flyer with no words on, how much is it going to generate?
Right.
It's what the flyer says is what's going to matter.
Right.
Guess what you're learning right now?
Mm-hmm.
Words that attract people.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to not only learn design, you're not only going to be able to design for them. You're going to be learning some of the best words to how to attract people. I'm teaching it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? Not only can you learn, you can now sell design. You can say, I'm going to put on the design the words that work.
Right. Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, graphic design doesn't increase traffic. The
Okay.
words on the graphic design do.
Yeah. Because I cannot I feel sometimes unconfident saying like some of the stuff you said, like improving branding and stuff like that to increase traffic and because it's like, is that actually true? Some people don't think so.
Well, it's only because it hasn't worked for them,
Okay.
but it's absolutely true.
Okay.
Or else why does Microsoft, why does Walmart spend money on branding all day long?
That's true.
Why do these major companies spend money on branding if it doesn't work?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right? It just didn't work for them
Mm-hmm.
because they haven't hired you yet. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So people don't care what you want to say. People only care about what they want to hear. That's the first part. The second part to this is a story. I'm going to end it off with a story because the story is very important.
Okay.
I have a friend of mine. His name is Harry. He has these little blind spot mirrors for cars. They're the world's best blind spot mirrors. You put them on the side of your car, they eliminate your blind spot. That's what they're designed to do. Okay. So you can cross lanes without left or right. You can always see when it's still in your blind spot. It really prevents a lot of accidents. I've been driving with them for over 20 years. But one day in 2005, Harry came to me and goes, Steven, I'm having a problem. He goes, my voice, I'm getting acid reflux in my voice. I don't know what to do, so I need some help. I said, well, we need to get you a website and we need to get you on TV. So I called QVC and got him on QVC. We flew out to Pennsylvania and we were at QVC, and the lady who was sitting there telling us this whole instructions of how QVC works. And she said a very important sentence because Harry was like telling her, oh, everybody needs these mirrors. Everybody needs these mirrors so they can turn, they don't have to turn left or right. They don't take their eyes off the road and all this stuff. And she was like, Harry, I believe you. I agree with you. I believe everybody needs a mirror. But let me tell you one thing about selling on TV. She goes, people will spend 10 times more for what they want than what they need. And I was like, okay, I get it. I changed my entire marketing strategy from that point. So in other words, I stopped selling based on what people need. I start talking about what they want. And that's all I talk about. So in other words, let's say someone comes to you and says, I really want more foot traffic in the door through my website. Great. And really, why is that? Well, the reason why is because I believe that's going to help me get more sales, I get more appointments on my calendar and this and that. Great. Well, what I'm going to do is I work with business owners and I show them how to, if they increase their website traffic, they increase the words that are on their website, they can get more foot traffic so that their, website can produce an extra 5 or 10 sales a month. Oh, really? Well, how do you do that? Well, I have a system in place. And if you're open to it, I can give you a free 1 hour strategy session and give you some very specific tips on how to increase your foot traffic in your business. Yeah, I'd love to meet with you on that. Okay, great. Now they meet with you. You just told them, you just told them exactly what they wanted to hear, right? And then they come, that's why they show up. They show up to your meeting and you say, okay, well, I'm
Okay.
gonna give you a strategy session. And in your strategy session, you show them how you can help them increase foot traffic. Guess what you don't talk about? Graphic design and brochures and labels and all, they don't want that. They want foot traffic.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
Now, once they buy the website for the foot traffic, then you can talk to them about upgrading all the other stuff.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to, because I've been trying to do this not nice and structured like this, but like recently I had a person who was interested in what I didn't use any of the things, but interested in what I did. But I did, he was looking for, I mean, we've already had the session and he started to send me some stuff for me to work, but um in his case, he was interested in um me vectorizing some logos for him, but he also needed a website, which he expressed interest in. So my response probably like to fit this in there, it's I tailor my response to whatever he said.
Well,
So
yes, of
instead of
course.
me being like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
you're talking to them. You're not talking generically.
okay, okay. So it should have been like, yeah, I can give you a website that helps you market
Well,
toward
is
corporate
that what he wants?
businesses.
Is that what he said he
Yeah,
wants?
yeah.
Whatever he said he wants is what you need to say
Okay,
you're going to give him. As
okay,
long as you can deliver it.
okay, okay,
If you can't deliver it, then don't say it, of course.
okay. I'm just trying to learn to make sure I do it right.
Say that again.
I'm just trying to learn to make sure I do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's why we're going through this.
yeah. Okay.
That's the whole purpose of this.
Okay.
You're doing fine. Okay. So your job is to go and learn these things, practice them, and you'll see the results will come.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on the 4 steps? On the 3 steps?
No. These are like, and it's okay if I'm not like perfect at it when I start.
Well,
Right.
of course you're not going to be perfect. Are you perfect at anything when you're first learning?
No, but I have a perfectionist personality, so I'd beat myself up a lot.
Okay, well, here's the help. Let me help you with something. Never do that. Are you perfect at anything when you
No,
first start? Right, then why would you beat yourself up? You should be your own best you should be your own best cheerleader.
I'm gonna write that down now. Don't be.
Yeah, you're not perfect at anything. Nothing. No one's perfect at anything when you first start. So then why that's silly to beat yourself up over it.
Yeah,
Why have that kind of expectation of yourself when no one does it on earth? No one.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. That's self-deflating. Why would you know what I'm saying? Don't do that to yourself. Be excited that you're learning.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your homework for this week, for this session. And then what you want to do is you want to go on my calendar and you
Okay.
want to book a next session. So I'll show you where my calendar is. So let me show you here. So you see where it says meet stevengregg.com?
Uh-huh.
You want to go there and then you watch, below the video, you'll see my calendar. So figure out next week when you want to go
Okay.
and talk so you can get you can get the next session done. Make sure you have your homework done.
Right. Well, shoot, you're not open on Saturday.
Huh? Any other questions for me?
If you're not open on Saturday,
Does
it has to be the next week.
does it always have to be Saturday?
No, it needs to be in the next week.
Yeah, just do it next week sometime during the week.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Saturday. I mean, you don't need to, it ain't gonna take you a week to do this little bit of homework.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go through this as fast as you want, or as slow as you want,
Yeah.
but you might as well get it done by Tuesday or Wednesday or something.
Yeah. The weekends are a little less um busy, so
For me or for you?
for me.
Oh, well, what are you doing? Are you doing money making activities during the week?
I'm more like with my like personal life, but there's a lot going on. So the weekends can be
Okay.
more,
Well, right now
yeah,
you're trying to generate income, right?
yeah,
Well, this should be a priority.
yeah. I meant with having time to talk. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
just so you know, the good thing is just figure out a time that works for you. You got my calendar. You don't have to do it right
yeah,
this second. You look at your schedule, look at my schedule, you figure out a time and you just book it. Okay?
yeah.
Keep it simple. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just find a time and then that time we just book it on my calendar.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Any last questions for me?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is give you I'll send you the recording here shortly. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Perfect. So great talking to you. I'll send you this recording. And then once this is done, you'll see we'll take it to that next step. You start
Okay.
filling your calendar with the right people.
Okay.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you. Have a great week.
You too.
Actually, have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.